This video up to close of trade Thursday, 14th February 2013. Well, it's taken me a couple of goes around recording this video. The first time was way too long, so I'm going to try and cut it down to the minimum. What we're seeing in these other markets, apart from the E-mini, is we're starting to see breaks into trend moves, and we'll start to accelerate. We've been in this kind of range over the last month or so, where we're kind of just making new equity highs, kind of lower and lower volume and so on, but all the other markets are starting to move into decent trend moves, and so at some point we'll find this left shoulder on the equities and kind of roll over. But let me just show you the other charts. I've been talking about this over the last couple of weeks, and now we're getting kind of more confirmation. Gold daily chart, we just broke through support again. The last couple of days when I talked about this, we were coming up to the support level on that day. It actually ended up being a resistance kind of print on better sine wave, but again, another support level's kind of been printed further down. We broke through it today. We're breaking into trend moves on these daily charts, and also when you look at the weekly charts, we're at critical levels here. We could be breaking into trend moves on weekly charts as well, which will start to really kind of move distance. And the reason why we're interested in trend moves is because that's when the markets all accelerate. We've been in this kind of congestion zone, for a while, since the beginning of the year basically, and all of a sudden we start moving out of congestion. People have to take action. They have to reverse positions, get into positions, and so on, and the pace starts to really accelerate. So we've had this kind of slow market over the last couple of weeks, and I'm looking for that to kind of accelerate going forward. Same thing on silver. Silver, now we're through daily support into a trend move on the way down, and we're critically close to the support on the weekly chart. On the pound, we've been into a downtrend move since the beginning of the year. As soon as we broke through the support level, bang, we're through. This blue professional bar is falling through the ice, falling through that support, having had a little bit of a test back up to 61.62, 161, 162. Blue professional up bar, last roll of the dice. After exhaustion buy and bearish divergence, bang, we're into a downtrend on the daily chart here. And you can see the strength of all that blue professional bars kind of coming in, and we're breaking the lows of that. And 150s, kind of 151s kind of down here is a critical level for the pound. So let's see where this goes. And then over the last few days we had the euro exhaustion buy and bearish divergence. We had this strong blue professional bar, the professionals getting out on the way up here and following it up, kind of anxious to get on board the move here, breaking through the lows of that blue professional bars. The high wasn't taken out here, and we kind of recovered a little bit towards the end of the day today, but the euro is starting to break down as well, and we've had all these blue professional bars on the weekly chart. The result of that is dollar index. Dollar index is strengthening because of all these markets kind of going the other way. And we're through resistance here. We didn't close above it, but that's the critical level. What I need to see is a really nice strong bar, long range bar, blue professional bar kind of coming through that resistance level, jumping the creek, getting this move going on the daily chart on dollar index. And you can see all the professional activity at these lows over the since the beginning of the year. So it wants, with supports in on the weekly chart, wants to kind of break out. We've got trend moves starting to accelerate on all those other charts. And the other kind of risk off type market is bonds. Bonds, yesterday we had this little kind of move down where we kind of tested in these lows, and we kind of went back below that kind of support level there. But today's activity, bang, we flipped all the way back up again. So let's just wait and see. Pull back to end of trend. Need to see a resistance level kind of come in, and we break above that into an uptrend, but we're trying to hold on the bond market here. So if all these risk off markets are strong and the risk on markets are kind of weak, equities, we're just trying to find that left shoulder kind of topping out with weaker and weaker buying. We had very low average trade size today's activity, but let's go to the 40,500 tip bar chart. We've not seen blow off activity. The last time we really tried to get this thing going was a few days ago. Exhaustion selling, we bounced from there. What I'm looking for is a break of one of these support levels to go, for a U-turn basically to happen, and we kind of come back through a support level into a downtrend, a decent downtrend on the way down. We keep on trying at these highs, over the last couple of days on 13,500. A little bit of a peak yesterday up in the 20s. Blue professional up bar, and we broke the lows of that. Came back with today's activity. More blue professional up bars, and we're kind of coming back to these kind of levels. So was this a little bit of a peak up in the 20s, and then we're just testing back, and we'll kind of break back down. So starting to look for those kind of breaks on those higher time frames to take us into a decent move on the way down. Now 1500 tip bar chart. What I want to talk about is an email I got. Let me just pull this up. So today's trading a little bit tricky, but I don't want to talk about today. I want to talk about yesterday's trading. Because I had a really good email from Mario. Let me pull up the email. So here we go from Mario. Hi Barry, first of all, thank you for all your efforts with the videos, website and indicators. They're amazing. I think I understand your method, non-correlated indicators, support, resistance, pro signals and so on. But I was stunned yesterday when I got out of the market after the professionals jumped on board at a support level on the 1500 tip bar chart. And let me just show you where that is. This is the blue professional bars at a support area that Mario is talking about. So let's bring it up again. So probably didn't trade today. Actually, I did trade yesterday. I had an appointment to go to, so I had to cut my trading short, take a couple of hours sleep, and then go for my appointment. But I was actually trading it yesterday. Appreciate a lot if you can comment. 953 professional bars, exhaustion selling, 1500 tip bar chart, as well as bullish divergence on 500. Besides this, we were an uptrend on 45, but suddenly the price broke into a downtrend. I know you won't be able to hit it always, but I wonder if you made a poor, or if I made a poor entry, if you had done the same in this situation just to improve my trading. So let me just show you what was going on here. So we'd had a rally up from the previous days. This is Wednesday's trading, this is Tuesday's trading, and we'd come into a pullback to end of trend situation. Blue professional bars coming into the highs here, but we had not seen exhaustion buying. In order to change a trend around, we've got to see our exhaustion buying. We had a really solid sell-off, 4 points down or so, quickly into a flush pattern, and we bounced all the way back up. New highs for the day, and there's our exhaustion buying. So exhaustion buying kind of came in here on this left shoulder. We play around at the highs, resistance kind of comes in, bearish divergence kind of comes in. The amateurs are active at the highs here. First of all, they're shorting it, then they're getting long, they don't know what they're doing. There were no blue professional bars here, which is kind of unusual. We didn't see any stepping in here. We didn't see any kind of this way at these highs up in these 20s. But this is the critical one. So we start to sell off, and then we have a blue professional bar on the retrace. And then the lows of that blue professional bars kind of get taken out. So that's your little signal that there's weakness in the market here, because the professionals on any little retrace getting in quickly, and as soon as we break this by a quarter point, half point, bang, we're away to the downside. So that was kind of the trick to get into this on the way down. Now, this is what Mario's seeing. So he's seeing we start to sell off and we see an exhaustion selling signal, blue professional bars kind of come in, and the support kind of comes in here. What this blue professional bar is showing us is the strength of the selling at the beginning of this move. Remember, we've just made new highs. This is just the strength of selling kind of wanting to get on board this move quickly. Where these things happen counts. When at that point in time, we've been in this uptrend, we saw exhaustion selling here. It's not at a new low for the day. It's not at a new low kind of, the sequence over the last day or so. This is just happening after a high. So this is just showing the strength of the move kind of going down. To end a downtrend, we've got to see the exhaustion selling kind of coming in at new lows, or at a previous kind of support area. So the next time we see exhaustion selling, it's down here, 3 or 4 points kind of further on, which is kind of new lows for the day. It's kind of below this kind of support area here. That's professionals starting to get out of a position kind of here, taking profits. This point, this exhaustion selling is showing us the strength of the move getting going. Now, we had short covering rally. It was actually quite a strong rally, but it was so slow. It was unbelievably slow kind of coming back into it. Eventually we get our resistance kind of come in, a Rambo pattern, and we come back down. It wasn't a classic pullback to end of trend, because this resistance area kind of printed below this above the support area here. But that was showing, a potential bottom here after a flush pattern kind of comes in, and then the blue professional bars kind of come in again. So this exhaustion selling is not going to end a move. And remember, to turn a market around, you've got to see the exhaustion selling and the bullish divergence kind of coming in. This is the beginning of a left shoulder starting to end this market. We test back down. The amateurs get wrong-footed again on the 1500 tip bar chart. The professionals step in again, and then we start to rally from there towards the end of the day. So that's kind of an ending type move. But this exhaustion selling and blue professional bars is just getting the move going. Now, I agree, it was a bit confusing because we did have blue professional bars here. It was a bit confusing to see what they were actually doing. It's unusual for the professionals on an extreme like that to be getting short, but you just needed to kind of wait and see what was going on. Kind of initially broke the highs of that, by a quarter point. We had kind of amateur down bars. Looked like it might want to go for a little bit of a spin back up, but as soon as we saw this blue professional bar, This one is a classic, falling through the ice. Blue professional bar through a support level, and then the lows of that get taken out, bang, we get kind of continuation. That's falling through the ice. So it was a bit of an unusual pattern, agree with that, but to turn a market around, you've got to at least be waiting for the first bullish divergence to kind of come in, and then you need to see price confirmation. Once we've overshot a support level here, we're waiting for either a pullback to end of trend or the next kind of cyclical support after end of trend in order to get confirmation that there's less selling going on here, and that allows us for the market to rally kind of from there. So Mario, I hope that was helpful. I was actually trading this at the time, and I was short 1975. As soon as this low got taken out, 1975, I was in short. I pushed my target out. I was trying to get 5 points out, but I couldn't squeak 5 points out. I got out at 4.25, at 15.5, kind of down here. After we'd seen those pro signal exits, I'm getting very nervous kind of down there on the lower time frame charts. There was some strength kind of coming in Rambo patterns at the bottom, and that's why I kind of jumped out here. So I would have gone short again, re-entry at this resistance, but like I said, this move was incredibly slow on the way back. I had an appointment to get to, and I needed a couple of hours of extra sleep, so I went back to bed, and then as soon as this kind of move came in with the Rambo pattern, there was another couple to be taken out nicely on this move down, but it wasn't for me. I wasn't around to see that kind of going on. Anyway, Mario, I hope that was helpful to you, and I hope this video is shorter than the first version I recorded. 1975, short 1975. So reason for getting short, we just had our exhaustion buying, bearish divergence coming on the 1500 tip bar chart, so we need to see that during the full open to get the full liquidity of the day. And although we had our pullback to end of trend, just waiting for that, it's been all this caught in this kind of amateur trend, amateurs getting short too early, then kind of reversing and so on. The first blue professional bar we've seen since the open. Taking profits here. Would have liked to have seen professional bars at the highs, but we just got them on this little retrace, tiny little retrace, and so as soon as we broke the lows of that bar, kind of heading this way, and we're through support on the 500, so this could be into a trend move. We kind of have pullback to end of trends, a little bit of a rush to sell down, and on that little spike up, so we got support kind of due on 1500, but let's hopefully this will kind of continue. Just since we're through the support, 22's kind of line in the sand up here. So short 1975. There we go, just broken down into 18s, had a little bit of a test back up. Support becomes resistance, kind of bounced off that, kind of heading down. It was a Rambo pattern. Got this kind of support in due on 1500, but we're now into a downtrend here on 500. This is kind of accelerated on the way down. So let's see what happens next. Alright, a whole heap of blue professional bars come in, particularly on the 1500. We've got a pro signal, that's it, that was a big reading, it's about negative 13,000 on better momentum on the way down. We've got cyclical support in due, so it's going to come up shortly. It's big readings. This is 17.25 down here, the low for the day. We're in a downtrend on 500 here, so we've got to see pullback to end of trend. So not sure that's kind of taking profits necessarily. We could have a bounce. We're going to get a bounce because we're going to put in support at some point, but let's just see if it continues down. We're about a point away off 17.25. So could see a technical bounce down there, but let's just watch it. Okay, support came in on 1500, bounced from there. Not surprising, these blue professional bars kind of coming out the lows, but let's see where the pullback to end of trend takes us on 500. Amateur up bars here on this retrace, so should roll over at some point, kind of test the lows, and then we'll see. This could be on 1500 after maxing out. This could be just showing the strength of this selling down, but we need to get through this 18 level. Alright, well, we've had our amateur retrace here. Amateur down bars though. Okay, here we go, we're coming down to 18.25. It's critical level 17.25 here. We've still got to go pull back to end of trend on 500s. This is wrapping around. Probably going to make that as we start rushing towards 17. Should get interesting, but blue professional bars coming in at the lows, so an exhaustion. It's not going to turn around and see we see bullish divergence, and I just wonder if we've had our reversal for the day with this point here. So Let's see what happens next. It's getting kind of interesting. This is kind of a critical level if they're going to hold it in this area and push it back up, or whether it's going to break through and we're going to go for a nice spin to the downside. But I'm at a down bars, bouncing back off that low. Alright, finally pullback in a downtrend's gone off on 500. And we're coming up to 18.25. Kind of critical support level here. So we've got to see pullback to end of trend before this downtrend on 500's over. Maybe it'll sync up with the support on 1500, but getting through this level here is pretty key, because then we'll get to 17s pretty quick. And if we charge through that, we're away. So just trying to figure out what was going on here with the professionals. So just keep holding short. Yeah, just got to 17s quarters, ran through it, blue professional bar through support 1500. It's falling through the ice. So we're on our way, broken the low for the day. So still not seeing pullback to end of trend. Target's sitting at 1575 at the moment, just kind of down here. It's starting to accelerate on the way down. Here we go. Okay, no, moving the target out 1475. And let's see if we get out on a runner. Alright, end of trend went off on the 500 tip bar chart. We're coming up to support here. But we're in a downtrend on 1500, so yeah, all of a sudden the energy's kind of picked up the downside. And just stuck in 16s at the moment. Minus 12,000's big reading. No blue professional bar kind of coming on this time around. One level one kind of down here. But yeah, this kind of area down here is kind of, what's that low? 15, yeah, so 1475 would be a good place here. So let's just keep holding. Hope for another minus 15,000 now. Alright, we're just coming up to that original target, just hit the original target. Pro signal exit's gone off, blue professional bar. This is where I'm always pushing it a little bit, and I should just be hitting the out. Let's just keep holding out, just see if we kind of continue down. 15.5. Just pulled in target there just because Rambo patterns, Salt family of them on 500 blue professional bar kind of come in here, and we've had our pro signal exit kind of go off. I'll probably go through 14s, but just happy with that. Just for 4.25. Good. Let's just keep watching and see if there's a re-entry.